Hey, I'm Sam.
And I'm Miguel.
This is the Didn't Anyone Mention podcast. What do you got for me today?
I guess, yeah.
What are you talking about?
We always leave a little bit of space so Miguel can edit. And he couldn't even look at me because he was about to laugh.
It's not even true. It's not even a little bit true.
It is.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I saw the smirk on your face. You were like,
Anyways, let's move fast.
well, welcome for this little itty bitty tidbit.
Titbit.
Titbit.
Okay. This little tidbit.
But our homeboy Spencer.
What's up, Spencer?
Yeah, he's been listening to since day one.
He really has been.
He's an OG and one of our best listeners, you know?
Yeah.
What can I say?
He's a good dude.
Yeah, good guy.
Known him since I was a wee laddie.
Yeah, it's kind of random, but it's cool.
Yeah.
He messaged us because he also fills us in on a lot of random things sometimes.
He is just by the message that we got on our Instagram from him, I would consider him probably an expert rock climber. Because this ranking scale makes no sense.
Yeah, so he told us all the rankings, which I bet I could have looked it up online, but, it just comes better from somebody you know?
I suppose, yeah.
But-
it doesn't make any sense.
But we wanted to give you the information. So if anybody was curious, obviously Spencer's not curious because he already knows. But
He's not curious. He's just that guy.
he's just that guy. So we talked about City of Rocks just in this last episode, so that's what we're following up on a little bit. But there was different climbing scales for the City of Rocks, and I'm just gonna go over what the basics climbing standards are and the ratings that they are. But 5.0 to 5.04 is an easy climb with large holds. Okay, and if we remember, City of Rocks had all of these.
Yeah.
So
they have 600 miles of rock climbing trails.
Yeah. 5.5 to 5.7 is intermediate climbing with smaller holds and more challenging moves. And then we have 5.8 to 5.9 is advanced climbing with smaller, less obvious holds and more technical moves. And then 510 it looks like it's 510 and up, and then it has some specificities. What does that just say?
Specificities.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if that was a word, but it sounds right.
I trust you to do this for me. But anyways, 5.10 and up, grades further defined by letters A through D being easiest, or A being easiest and D being the hardest. And then we have 5.11/5.12, difficult climbing that requires excellent technique, strength, and endurance. And then last but not least is 5.13 through 5.14, expert climbing that is strenuous and technical. So
I don't know why they had to start at 5.
I don't know. Apparently 1 is just walking.
Maybe they fell on their head too many times. So they thought 5 was 1. I don't know.
Yeah. So,
but it seems weird to start at 5. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. It's whatever you say. Also, I don't know if we wanted to. You know what? We'll bring it. He gave us some more info about the random Mormon history that I thought I knew, which obviously I didn't. So
Sam,
apologies.
Yeah, I told her she should stop running her mouth.
I know. I was like, wow. Miguel should have cut me off. What should I?
Yeah.
Could I say?
You know what? This time it would have been helpful, but we'll touch back on it at the end of the episode.
Oh yeah, we'll touch back on it more likely in a different one. We could even do a whole episode of the history if we really wanted to.
That's true, but we'll touch on this. Maybe we'll do an episode on it. No idea.
Yeah, but anyways, I'm not super well versed in it, so that's where we're just gonna leave it. We just wanted to let you guys know what we found out about rock climbing because that's kind of cool. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the episode.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into it.
Now the audio might sound different, but we're from the future. All right, back to the original audio. Welcome back.
Welcome.
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 No, welcome.
No, welcome.
No, dude. No, you're not saying it right.
Welcome.
There you go. Now I feel invited. Okay.
What you got?
What do I got for
Something about a leaping leprechaun?
How do you know?
Because I read the first word.
So you already read it.
No, I just read this thing.
Hey guys, I think
I'm
we're
a
gonna
cheater, pumpkin eater. What can I say?
between you guys and me here, whoever's listening, we gotta figure out what to do with her. She's kind of gotten off the rails here.
Yeah, what can I say? I'm just a party people. I
No.
bring the life.
Yeah, she is a
You were
PP,
told- What?
a PP.
A PP what?
Party people, you're a PP.
All I'm saying is, people told you to stop cutting me off.
They did. Now they're gonna tell me to cut you off. Anyways, since you call him a leprechaun, that's absolutely wild.
I can't remember what it was really because
Okay.
I cheated and then I stopped. I was like, I shouldn't read this.
I knew you were a cheater from the start.
Whenever
From the
never
day
cheat.
from the day I met you.
I will cheat. You know what? My sister listens. She knows I used to cheat in Clue when I was a kid.
You used to cheat in Clue?
Yeah.
That's my favorite board game to play with you. Is that why I lose every fucking time?
No, I've never cheated with you. Promise. Cross my heart on our daughter.
I can't
I've
believe
never-
you. You would.
I was like 7. I was 7. You're gonna hold what I did at 7 against me?
Yes.
I can hold what you did at 7 against you.
What did I do at 7?
Regularly poop your pants.
Poop my bro. I've never pooped my pants. Unlike
Ring,
the
ring.
other half of this room.
Ring ring, Miguel's mom.
Ask her.
Ring ring.
Ask her.
She's like, oh yeah, Miguel pooped his pants all the
I
time.
ain't never shit in my pants. I never dookied my
You've
pants.
never pooped your pants even as a baby.
Okay, well that's any age after 5.
After 5? After 5?
Is that too late?
Yeah.
Well then 4. Whenever I got out of diapers. Actually, I got
I
really.
heard you were potty trained in kindergarten.
You heard that.
Yeah, I heard it on the street.
You heard it on the street that I was kindergarten.
Yeah.
I was potty trained before I could walk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pee-pee.
No, they just threw me outside the dog door. I was shitting in the grass.
Whatever.
That's a
Okay,
true story.
just tell your story, bro.
Okay, anyways, I got a story actually to tell you afterwards. If
What-
you don't
what?
cut me
Do you
off.
want me to remind you or what?
Bro, what is going... You guys see what I mean? We gotta reel her in.
What do you mean? I'm asking you if you need, like, context clues to remember.
You're absolutely absurd.
I'm just trying to
Anyways,
be nice.
I got a question for
Do
you.
you want me to remind you later?
I think you're being kind of... What's the word I'm thinking of? Where you're pretending to be nice, but you're really being malicious, you know?
I promise I'll just try to be nice.
That's what I would say.
Whenever it's your episode, you get all wound up.
Me?
Yeah,
It's not my episode.
it is your episode.
It's our episode.
I don't know.
Okay, anyways. I guess we'll get into it
Okay.
since one of us is a little less crazy than the other. Anyways, have you ever heard of Spring-Heeled Jack?
Spring healed?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
So let me tell you originally why I went with Spring-Heeled Jack. So we are getting a slowly but growing listening base in the UK.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't it, bruv?
Okay, let's not ruin it. Let's not ruin a good thing.
2 + 2 is 4.
What are you?
I don't know. I'm Big Shaq on the mic.
Just say what you're gonna say.
Well, I think I just lost all our listeners from the UK. So, anyways, okay, yeah. The main reason I went with Spring-Heeled Jack is because he is like a folklore from the UK. I don't remember the exact city, but it's in my notes here. But it's gone up 7 times over the past month.
Oh, it's getting a little spooky, a little kooky.
Yeah, but like you would think it's a lot, but it's from 0.1% listeners to 0.8% listeners. So, I mean,
It's something.
you know what? If I'm going to pitch a sale, I'm going to say 7 times more interaction.
Dang, you could sell.
Dude, I know. So, do you have any guesses of who Spring Hill Jack is, or the bouncy leprechaun that you guessed?
Spring Hill Jack, I mean, really encompassed it. I just saw the name. That's it. I didn't read anything more than that.
I really don't believe you.
I promise. I just saw Spring Hill Jack. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Wonder what that is. I'm guessing he's a bouncing little leprechaun.
No, he's not a
He
leprechaun.
just bounce and bounce and bounce. So he bounces.
He does bounce, but he's not a leprechaun.
So what does he do?
Well, I don't know.
You don't know? You didn't even find anything?
I found multiple things. So, Spring Hill Jack was a creature / monster
Oh, some...
that liked to jump down on people, like jump down as they were walking, maybe on a street sign, or maybe he would knock on their door, get out of the way, and then jump in front of the door, slap the shit out of you, and then bounce away.
Dude. No way.
Yeah, so
A monster who's like,
yeah,
boom,
He
just
would-
out the door.
he would bounce down, like prank you, slap you, and then bounce away. He was known to bounce over buildings, streets, roadways.
Oh, so he's like Tigger.
Yes, Tigger. I gotta stop.
Reported. Is what I'm saying.
So, what did he look like, though? That's the real question.
Tigger, dude.
He didn't look like Tigger.
So what do you look like?
He is consistently described as tall, thin. He wore tight-fitting clothing, a top hat, right?
Okay.
Obviously glowy red eyes.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a devilish grinning face. And claws that were razor sharp or just metallic. And some claim that instead of a top hat, he wore a helmet. So he's Jack Skellington.
Nothing about his body? Like just tall?
Tall, thin, tight-fitting clothing.
Sounds like Tigger with a top hat.
I mean,
Dude, I don't know. Story's freaking on one.
dude, I know.
He's freaked out by freaking Step on Jack. What's his name?
Spring-heeled Jack.
Spring-
Step on Jack.
Step on Jack.
Step on Jack. What he'll do is he'll do a foursquare around you.
What is wrong?
I don't know. Anyways,
Okay.
so Spring Hill Jack originated in London in London. London. I don't know how the Brits pronounce it. London. Landon.
Or you can just say London, like
London. That's how I'm going to pronounce it.
a long dong.
A long dong. Jack emerged in Long Dong about 1830 during a time of rapid industrialization and urbanization. The city was experiencing a growth of technological advancements and rising crime rates. You know, at the time, there was economic disparity and a fascination with the supernatural.
When was this?
1830s in the UK.
Supernatural, man. People love it.
What a time, right? What a time. Now, this time, most streets were poorly lit. Let's be honest, right?
I mean,
Nighttime, they're most likely going to be petroleum or oil lanterns that are filled per night.
can't believe it.
And
Cold
more,
security can never.
this is kind of where the story of people waiting in alleyways kind of became popular.
I mean,
And dimly lit streets, in the streets. It's still a common theme you see in movies these days.
I would just like to say, like, if I was gonna hide to kill anybody, it would be in an alleyway. There's no light.
I mean, I wasn't gonna go to kill anybody, but maybe get a few extra.
Terrorized either way.
Get a few extra bucks. You know what I mean?
I mean,
A little Timmy walking through the alleyway.
I would just like to say, if you're gonna do one, just might as well.
You think so?
I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit too morbid. Who knows?
There's. I don't know, man.
I would.
You do your
Okay,
own stuff.
also, I
You
would
do your
never-
own stuff.
Also, I would never.
Guys, please help me.
Moving voice.
I'm
I would
blinking. Blink twice if you need help, and I'm fucking blinking.
No, I guess I just went a little extreme, a little too quick.
Yeah, I don't
I guess if you
I'd
wanted
take
a
some
cri-
people's money.
if you wanted a crime, you would do something in the dark.
That's true. Although,
So
fun
that's
fact,
why I like my house lights on.
what the hell are you looking at me for?
Because you were like, oh, you just gotta have these lights on all night. They attract bugs. I
The
don't-
front door light is what I'm talking about, dude.
Yeah.
My family had lights on year round.
So then what are you whining and crying about me?
There's not one by the door that lets in
Thank God.
mosquitoes.
Thank God. I have one by the door. It just distinguishes, not disintegrated. What am I trying to say?
Attracted.
Not attracted. Disattracts. No, that's not the word.
Repels.
I mean, repels is a word, but like it's not the word I was looking for. But it repels youths from taking my Halloween decorations.
We're just gonna move on. We're just gonna move on from that. I don't even know what to say about that.
Why am I disappel? No. What is the word I'm looking for? Not disappel. What's disappel is not even a word. What word?
I'm just gonna let you keep going.
Somebody help. Help.
I disappel this sentence.
Dissipate. No. What the fuck am I looking for? Disappear. No. Disintegrate. No.
God damn.
Dude. Distinguish. No, it's closest to distinguish. Decipher. No.
Dude.
Dude, I need to figure out what word this is.
We're gonna stay. You know, I'm gonna just pause it real quick, and we're gonna figure out this word, and then once we figure it out, we'll be right back. Okay? As soon as I hit pause, Sam figured it out.
Discourages. Thank you. Discourages. I just want to discourage youths from destroying my property.
Okay.
So that's why I keep my lights on.
Fair enough.
What can I say? I just think about these things. You don't, obviously.
No. I don't. You're right. So also, okay, back on topic here. I'm cutting you off. I'm gonna disaffer your story here.
I was really trying to figure out what the word I was thinking of.
So okay, poorly lit streets. More report.
Portlet streets?
What? I said poorly lit streets. What did I say?
Stormy's, her cat's even like, huh?
Poorly lit streets.
Thank you.
More reports of people waiting in alleyways or were rising. This is the time.
No, I totally distracted you.
And also at this time, I had no idea that was popular, but stories.
The criminals were like,
Yeah, no,
here.
not even criminals. They were called penny dreadfuls.
Penny Dreadfuls?
Yeah.
Like Peter Pan?
No, they were cheap stories of true crime and horror that you could buy for a penny. In that time, they were cheap true stories,
Dang, you had to pay a penny for it?
and you could
penny's
read.
like 50 cents nowadays.
You could read like they were pretty much true crime and horror.
Well, I get that for $3.99 now, peoples.
Can you It's still a thing. It was like 200 years ago,
Everybody loves a good spooky story.
dude. Right, and it's
So
the
if
same
anybody
thing
feel
now.
less weird, it's me and you.
Let's not get carried away. But
Let's not get carried
but
away.
at time,
Okay.
so at that time, like even now,
Yeah, at that time they were ballers.
the UK is still a oligarchy.
Say it for someone who's stupid. What's an oligarchy?
King and queen.
Oh, thank you. So,
Actually, I'm not even sure that's what that means. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. I'm gonna stick with it, but we're gonna look it up real quick. Okay, so I was very wrong. It's not an oligarchy.
it is an oligarchy. You just thought it was king and queen.
Parliament. I already
Wait.
forgot the fucking word.
Wait, what?
It's a parliamentary
So
government,
parliament,
which
oh,
is
yeah.
king and queen,
So
or
it's-
king queen / prime minister, whatever you want to call it.
So it's people who make the decision technically, but the queen says. I watched Princess Diaries.
Not necessarily the queen, but whoever's in power.
Yeah, exactly. Have you seen Princess Diaries 2, The Engagement?
No.
Yes, you have. So let me flip my hair and you check yourself.
Okay.
Also, Princess. Wait, is it Princess Diaries? Yeah, it's Princess Diaries. 3 is coming out next year. Well, I just want to continue what I just said because Miguel said he cut me off the record, just so you guys know. Princess Diaries 3 is coming out. If anybody was curious, and I will say my cat's purring next to me, so if you hear it, there's a 20-pound cat whispering in your ear.
Okay. So, back on the Penny Dreadfuls.
Okay, also with that, I would pay a penny for it.
Yeah, I would too. Right.
Like I pay
True
what?
crime.
I pay what, $9.99 for Spotify?
Back to what I was saying
Hell
about
yeah.
the oligarchy that actually ended up being a parliamentary system. Whoever was in power, the prime minister, the king and queen, they could cause mass hysteria when they wanted to through the print press.
Is that any different than nowadays?
No, it is not.
Thank you. But anyways, the penny savers, or wait, what is it called?
The Penny Dreadfuls.
I love that, Penny Dreadfuls. I love that.
You like that
actually.
name?
I like that. I would buy it. 100%. I would spend money, a penny. I would rub 2 pennies together and get that penny and get it.
Fair enough.
I mean, would you not?
I bet I would. So,
'Cause,
Spring
like,
Hill
not
Jack.
everything's free. Spring
Sure.
Hill Jack, sorry.
Spring Hill Jack. He has 3 origins, and there's one story in particular that
All in
really...
the UK or where?
All in the UK.
Okay.
Or I guess not origins, but like theories of where he originated from.
okay.
So, Spring Hill Jack. What do we got him as? We got him as a tall, thin, tight-fitting clothing dude with a
Tigger.
top hat. Tigger, I guess you could call him.
Tigger.
He would jump out, scare you, slap you, and bounce away.
That is insane, actually. Now that I think about it, if it's somebody who's just being a criminal and you're just slapping around people, what a waste.
Right.
Slap them and at least take their purse, friend.
So, I'll let you vote on the origins of this guy. So we have 3 theories. Three theories.
3 theories. Got
Number
it.
1, the
One.
Marquis of Waterford. That's who he was.
Fancy.
What the fuck is this name? Henry de la Poor Borisford could have been it. I know, right? He was known as a mad marquess who was known as reckless and wild. He was involved in pranks and vandalism. He also had access to money, which people thought would allow him to make, or craft his own gadgets like spring
I
tools.
already see this guy, but that's only one.
Right.
So, okay, it's fitting. It's
Right.
fitting.
Number
Yes.
2,
Okay.
classic military experiment.
Stupid.
It was
Stupid.
a military experiment of
Stupid.
breakthrough in mobility.
Stupid. Number 1 still has my heart. Okay, what you got for number 3?
And then number 3 is kind of like number 1, but it's that the Marquess did it once, but then there was a bunch of copycats, and that's why there's no corroborating stories of who Spring-Heeled Jack was, what he looked like.
But does every copycat have the money? You know what? I'm thinking number one, it's like a reverse Batman. You know, like a rich kid able to have all these
Reverse
things.
Batman. A scat man, some would say.
You like that? Is that a good
Obviously, you fucking did it. So, I guess
name? A scat man? You just poop man? Yeah, I think it's top tier. I don't know what you're saying.
Shit stain on society.
Yeah, scat. It's another word for poop.
Scat man.
Scat man. I think that's perfect. But yeah, I would say the number one has my heart. Yeah, number one has my heart.
Okay.
Number three is a close second, and then the second one's absolute trash.
Military experiment goes with everything. You could throw a military experiment with anything.
Literally. You could say, like, oh yeah,
Okay.
COVID.
So let me tell you the story that caused him to explode in infamy in the UK.
Ooh, okay. Tell
Okay.
me.
So the famous encounter, February 19th, 1838.
February 19th, wait, what?
1838.
Sorry, my dyslexia is getting the best of me, even though there's no 9 in that number. 18.
Yeah, there is. February 19th.
Well,
1830.
1838 is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
1838. Okay. That is like way too long ago.
You're right. It just shouldn't exist.
Okay.
So a young woman named Jane Alsop.
Jane Doe. Okay.
Okay.
Jane Alsa?
Alsop. Okay. Here's the setting. This is literally from her. This is from her mouth here.
From her mouth.
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
It's a dark and stormy night. Jane lived with her family of two, Jane lived with her family on 2 Bearhind Lane. It's a quiet street in the Bow district of East Longdong. Around 9 p.m., there was a loud knock at the door. The family all look at each other and all remembering at once that there was rumors of strange men attacking women.
Okay, so wait. Okay, wait, no. You finish and then I'll say.
Okay. Jane opened the door. A man was outside dressed in a long dark cloak. He introduced himself as a cop. He said with urgency that he had just caught Jack nearby, Spring-Heeled Jack. The man asked Jane if she could bring a light, as he needed help. She was pumped. She was ready to catch this dude.
Oh, yeah, of
Yeah.
course, yeah. She's
And so-
like a woman.
Yeah.
A woman.
She ran back inside, got a lantern, and as she handed over the candle, the cop threw its cloak off, revealing its appearance to Jane. A tight-fitting oilskin suit, an inhuman face. His eyes started to glow red, and his mouth emitted a small blue flame. Without warning, he lunged at her, grabbing her neck and began tearing her clothes off with metal claws, going deep enough to leave gouges on her skin. As she screamed, her family came running out. Jane's sister came running and began to pull Jane back into the house, so he was pulling her out, right? She was eventually torn from the assailant, but instead of breaking in, he ran off. Witnesses claimed that he leaped over 9-foot walls effortlessly and bouncing away into the night. After she was left shaky and injured, they went to the authorities, and soon after, all the true crime people helped spread it across London. Even the Lord Mayor London, Sir John Cowan, acknowledged the menace. I really couldn't find anything about Jane, this was my notes here. I couldn't find anything about Jane Alsop other than this report, indicating that she was probably lower working class and was probably focused on her homely duties per the time.
Can I speak?
Yes, you may, woman. I'm just kidding.
First off,
Okay, what you
was
got?
it just the time? Okay, I bet you don't know. Obviously, you didn't live in the 1800s. Or
Sure hope
is
not.
that 1700s? Technically, we're in the 21st.
Correct.
So in the 18th or 1700s, whatever. Back in this time, why would the woman answer the door? If I was a woman, I would have my husband answer the door, or my father. If I lived,
There was no indication of her being married. There's literally
But
nothing
yeah, I see
about
her
it.
sister, but why wouldn't the father answer the door or the parental?
If they were lower working class, maybe he was working.
Maybe they both were working, because I would even say the mom should have answered the door. No way am I home and Centoya opening the door. My daughter. No way is my daughter answering the door. Maybe it's just the neighborhood I live in or where, but I feel like, first off, that's a little strange. But forget about that. I'm saying homeboy attacked her at her door.
Yep.
That is... I'll go back into my morbid / crime junkie ways. And I will like to note that ever since having my daughter, I have not been the same. I haven't been able to listen to Crime Junkie or whatever. But what I'm saying is, from all the time that I had listened to it, when people attack you at the home, they are a different kind of psycho. Different kind of crazy. Because if you are attacking at the home, they have no idea what their variables are, and they are more unpredictable. Saying that this guy went to the door and then ran off, that is intense. That's like contradicting itself. Unless it was his very first time and he was like dabbling in it, I feel like it's like, interesting. But it would make sense with your option 1.
That was just a madman with money.
That it was a guy with money. Because then, yeah, he may have had frustrations or whatever.
Just
not
bored with money.
Bored with money. But I'm not saying that, obviously, I'm never saying that it's right. Never. But what I'm saying is, it would make the most sense. Unfortunately. I mean, it's very Green Goblin-esque.
It is, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, like, when you're saying it, I'm like, reminds me of Green Goblin.
A little flame coming from the mouth.
Yeah.
So that's... There obviously
But
there
that's
there
cool,
was
though. That's cool.
there
Like,
was
I mean, it's a
reports
good-
happening. Yeah, there's reports beforehand too.
Yeah.
But this is the one that launched him into a folklore, and a lot of people from the UK don't even know who this guy is. Same with this is totally off topic here, but when I research different folklore or whatever it is,
It's hard sometimes finding, like, right
some
stuff,
people
yeah.
from their state don't even know it. Like, I had no idea about the Oahe Mountain cannibals.
Yeah.
No
I
idea
remember
about
that,
it.
yeah.
But that's within an hour of us,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, or like what was the big one for me? The McCall one? Is it,
Shirley?
Shelley.
No.
Shirley. Whatever the Loch Ness Monster is for McCall,
Yeah.
I literally have been to McCall multiple times. Didn't know about it.
But when we went to that one restaurant, did you see it there?
Yes! Yes! It
Yeah.
was so weird. I was like,
Yeah. You wouldn't think twice about it.
Mm-mm.
Okay, anyways. That is all I have here.
Yeah.
That's all I have on Spring Hill Jack. Not really a whole lot. I tried looking at more recent sightings or nothing really came up. So odds are it is the first option there, that it was just a marquee of Bairnsford with money, and he kind of had a sick mentality.
Well, and I don't want to say, like, I'm grouping people with a lot of money in, like, one category, but sometimes it's, like, frustrating, right? Like, I mean, who knows? They may have, like, a frustration, or they may have a disconnect from, like, the rest of society, because majority of society doesn't have all those funds and all that easy opportunity. So I know, like, sometimes there's a disconnect, but, yeah, you never know. I'm just trying to think of it from a different point of view.
Yeah.
I always try to, but I will say, yeah, your option number 1 makes the most sense. It's just like, it is giving London Ripper. Like the
Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
I was going to do him.
It is giving him. Is that how you found it? Or how did you find it then?
So, I've been using ChatGPT a lot more recently. And some people agree with that, some people don't.
Explain that to me, because I haven't used it.
So, ChatGPT is AI. Simply.
Is it AI? Okay.
It is AI. But you can pay for it, but it's like $200 a year. Or you have a limited number of questions, and then it'll tell you like you need to upgrade or whatever. But you can ask it, I don't know how many questions it is, but it'll give you real-time information. So if you ask it like trending cryptids now, it'll give you a list of 10 or whatever trending cryptids right now. You can even get more specific, and it'll...
That's kind of crazy how AI has been like...
It is, but it's super cool. So it'll like... This is why I like it.
I think that's what we need to remember is AI is a tool, not like
It is
everything.
a tool. So that's why I liked it. So I
Yeah.
gave it... I gave it... That's what I said is like trending cryptids now. And it came up with Spring Hill Jack.
Cryptid?
Yes. And so I asked... what I said was, after it gave me the whole list, I said, tell me more about Spring Hill Jack. And it gave me this.
Oh,
And then I said, tell me more about Jane Alsford. And that's all it gave me. And so it like condenses all the information in the internet into a little summary.
Which I think is really cool.
That we can do that. Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
Because I used to spend so much time just researching.
So the other thing with AI, I mean, I get it's really intimidating. With our work in particular that I'm in, is they introduced it like a month ago, and I was like, I don't know if I'm into this. This is really like not something I'm into. And we just did like sound like a training for management, and they kind of went over it, and I was like, why am I so against it when I could technically just get on board and kind of like test it out and kind of like test things out? And people were showing us stuff that we could do, and I'm like, AI is cool, but it needs to be done in a tool aspect and maybe not as an overall aspect, is what I think. So it shouldn't replace people, but I think it should be used as a tool to like help people.
I don't think it'll ever get to the point where it will truly replace people. Maybe in some jobs,
is good. Yeah.
like automation,
which I
which
think
AI
the biggest
excels
thing
in.
was like answering like simple questions, like I think I even said it. I worked at a financial institution, so it's like, oh, like what's the routing number? AI can answer that.
Yeah, easy.
It's like
instead of spending
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like
yeah.
why? Like it should be able to answer that when instead of me using my time where I could answer questions for someone who really has like a really random question, and then somebody who has like a super simple question, like why can't AI answer that in a way that's simple and effective instead of us? Like, so it's like it makes sense for it to be like a simple tool.
I think it's better with time.
I think it will be better with time, but I think it's like how the internet / cell phone / text, like I think it will be our generation's like, oh, do you get on board or not kind of a thing.
I agree with that, especially the new iPhone is going to come with AI equipped into it. You're not going to be able to remove it. It's going to be...
So what does that even mean, though?
So, like, Siri is going to be full-time.
So, I guess I still don't understand what that means. So does that mean that, like...
So, I'm not going to say I'm an expert in this, but from what I understand, it's going to be always on, meaning it'll remember when you wake up, always listening, as if it's not now.
Speaking of waking up, I heard Nintendo made an alarm clock which can tell when you're awake.
Yeah, so it's going to be...
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like it will make a noise. It will see when you're moving. It will make a little bit of a different noise, and until you get out of bed will it stop making noise.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
But it's
somebody told me about that, and I was like,
along the same lines where it'll know when you wake up, it knows when you have breakfast. It's just going to pretty much, it's going to think of it as your shadow all day long, and it's going to try to make your day more productive. Your assistant. Mm-hmm. It's going to try to make everything more productive. Which
is intimidating and a little scary. I get that.
I don't think it is.
I know you don't think it is, but like I understand how it can be scary, like your technology in this little phone listening to you all the time. I do think it's already listening to you all the time.
Oh, it 100% is.
But like for it to be like proactively straightforward, like yeah, I'm listening to you, figuring it out, like all this. It's just, I think it can be intimidating for somebody to come in and kind of quote unquote fix you, right? Or fix you / help you in a way you didn't realize you need help. And I think that can be intimidating to some people, where they're like, I didn't need that. Like, I am effectively moving around where I need to be.
Right.
I can see that as a person, like,
I think the whole
But-
tool behind it is fantastic and it's awesome.
But then, like, think about it. The alarm clock. You used to just have to wake up on command or wake up to your rooster or whatever. Like,
The rooster.
well, what I'm saying is, like, we have learned over time different tools to progress in life, and I think this is one of our new ones, but it's going to take a little bit of time for us to hurdle over it.
I know. I think
So,
what I think is happening is we're going to see a huge uptick in all this AI stuff, and it's going to get to a point where
it's going to be a little
it's gonna-
overwhelming at first.
it's
because
going to get
it's gonna
backscaled, right?
Mhm.
The part that scares me is how AI works, in which it gathers information from across all different search engines, compiles it, compares data, and tells you what is the truth across all these different platforms. Okay, hold on. What scares me is those search engines, they can choose to censor their truth versus what is the truth. You know, what's more convenient truth for them. Pretty much what they're doing with Robert F. Kennedy right now. They're, it's getting a little crazy.
Yeah.
But if people blindly believe AI, which I think a lot of people are going to, they're going to ask AI a question, whatever. It's like, what's the best whatever, or should I whatever, and they're going to get a response that, this is going to sound so conspiracy theory of me,
That's fine.
but they're going to get a response that they want them to have. They're going to have that mindset that they want them to have.
I completely
make sense?
understand and I completely agree, because it's hard, because you have people who tell you, I mean, let's take it even a step back to where parents, right? Like, even let's go to core values, right? Like, where your parents say that these things are right, so these are the things you need to do. Not necessarily is that correct every single time,
Right.
because we're human, right? Like,
Right.
so that's where it's like, okay, well, how does AI distinguish that? Because humans are giving that information to AI.
Right.
So I think for information and things like that, but like for deciding, like, oh, what's the best investment I should make? What's this? What's that? Like, what's the best this? Like, for actual physical numbers, I just think that that's going to take some time, and I think you should be a little bit more like,
I don't think it'll ever.
I don't think it will ever really know, because I think some of those, I think if you say like, oh, what's the best way to raise my kid? Crickets, because literally there's no perfect way to raise your kids. You're going to mess up your kid no matter what, because that's how we are as humans. And those kids are going to grow up to be their own individual person. And we are technically making our own person as two separate individuals, right? So then you're trying to make that into one person. That one person is not going to be the same. And don't get me wrong, there's 100% wrong ways to do it, but there's not a perfect way to do it. And I think that's exactly how AI is on certain things. Because, like, unless there's black and white on answers for AI, I don't think that I think black and white, AI will be perfect. If there's a gray. I think gray is there for humans.
I think we live in the gray consistently, but the problem that I have is with the black and white answers is giving certain humans the ability to say what's right and what's wrong.
And that's where I think and that's what's like hard, because it's like,
I know. It's gonna be an endless battle.
It's an endless loop, right?
Right.
But
because at some point
obviously,
somebody's gonna have to say,
thank you for listening to AI talk, but
yeah, this is like super outside of it.
yeah, but like AI is hard. It's something that has become way bigger, like way bigger within this last year.
Remember iRobot? Did you ever watch that? That was a fucking great movie with Will Smith.
I was gonna say, is it with Will Smith? Okay. Oh, sorry. Especially with now, like, me being personally effective even within work, for AI. I'm a little like on the edge about it, but at the same time,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
a
super. Which at this, but like at the same time, I'm like, at the same time, I'm also like, oh, maybe I should give it a chance. Especially in, I mean, we're in what our like late 20s. Like we should make sure we see our, is it, what's the one above us? Gen X, millennial, Gen X?
Millennials.
Is it? Are we not a millennial?
We're Gen Z.
Oh, we are Gen Z. So millennials and Gen Xers. Sometimes you see even Gen Xers or even Boomers, like you just don't see them like latching on to some of those technology or some of the advancements that are going on in like the world and literally life, and you're kind of like, you got to get on board to kind of like live slash survive. And at that point, like that's where I'm like, okay, well, AI, like I might as well figure it out and try to test it out instead of just be like, ooh, this is too intimidating for me, I might as well just do it. Because that's essentially what it is. It's just too intimidating. It's a lot.
It is.
I don't even know how people created it. Like, that's insane.
A bunch of coding.
I guess I know that it's created by coding, but it is crazy that people like made
The
it.
weird part is that it learns. Like, it's coded to learn. It's so cool.
Like, how do you code to learn? That's so crazy. Can somebody code me how to learn? Because I could do so much better.
I don't know.
Yeah. But anyways, we can go on that in a whole different section. But thank you guys for listening.
We'll see you guys next time.